Hi, it's an honor for me to share some few thoughts on this World Mental Health Day 2022. The theme for this year's celebration is Make Mental Health and Well-Being for All a Global Priority. The World Mental Health Day is an international day for global mental health education, awareness and advocacy against social stigma. My name is Maria Banga, and I am a lawyer, I'm a psychotherapist, and I'm a person with a lived experience diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder in 2014. So, mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make choices. Mental health is very important at every stage of life, from childhood and adolescence through adulthood. There's nothing wrong in talking about mental health. We all have to take care of our mental health. Now, the problem begins when we start not being able to take good care of our mental health, because when we can't take care of our mental health, it means that we are going to have some imbalances in our lives which will affect our behavior. So some of the effects of a poor mental health would include feeling increased anxiety, depression, and or loneliness, spending more time, on social media, on things that don't really add value to your life, not procrastinating, for example, not doing what you have to do, you just losing interest in life in general, or being too out there, just doing risky things, engaging in risky behaviors, maybe what we call cyberbullying, scamming, all of those things, taking drugs or sex or everything, any of those things which are excesses and which don't add value to our life. Those are some of the effects of a poor mental health. Now, when we start to have these effects, I will call them symptoms. What people tend to do is label these people and run away from them and just classify them as having a mental disorder. And when you are classified as having a mental disorder, then you are stigmatized, and then it looks like you are not worth it. But there's a difference. I can have these symptoms and yet I don't have a mental disorder. Or I could even have been diagnosed with a mental disorder, but I'm no longer having these symptoms because I'm able to take care of my mental health. Okay, so the difference between mental health and mental disorder is that a mental disorder is usually a habit that has been developed involuntarily most of the times and is directly related to our everyday dealings. On the other hand, mental illness is a term that is often used for a serious psychological issue that not only affects the life like a disorder, but has that ability to affect it long term. So there are different stages. You have the mental health, it becomes poor, but then you can manage it. You can have some support. That's where I am. You might not need medication. You might just need psychotherapy. You go through what people sometimes call prolonged durations of blue mood swings and all of that. But then you can still function. Okay. And then you have a mental disorder, which is something like it kind of destabilizes you. You're not able to do the things that you would normally do easily. For example, even taking a shower, it might not be easy for some people on some days. Even eating, it's not easy for some people to eat. You have people who have eating disorder, right? You can put food, they might be thinking, I have to eat. They're becoming so small and everything. But then once they pick up that spoon, something just goes up in their head and they start thinking fat, and then they don't eat. Now, a mental illness is when you're completely ill, you are bedridden, you cannot function without help. Either it's medication, or it's injections, or it's a drip, or it's an admission somewhere, and all of those kind of things. So on this day, the important message is that we cannot stigmatize people who go through this. We have to care for them just as we care for people who have a physical illness. And that's why for me it's important to always put out this message, and let's continue to do this. I'm a high functioning person living with post-traumatic stress disorder and able to do just so much. Thank you.